Hello YouTube, it's Rom from Ramen Noodle CCG, and today I have an Edison format zombie deck profile for you. So I took this zombie deck to the Philadelphia Regionals. I played in a March 2010 Time Wizard event, and I won this nice lad mat that you see right here. I'm very happy with this list, and I'm finally glad that I get to show it off. So let's get right into it. So for the zombie ratios, I am playing the 2 Goblin Zombie and all of the search targets. So the 1 Zombie Master, the Plague Spreader Zombie, the Mizuki, and Spirit Reaper, along with a full 3 Pyramid Turtle. This is extremely standard for zombies. Some people like 2 Pyramid Turtle, but I think 3 is really good. It makes your deck more consistent having the 3rd one, and it also helps your grind game, being able to summon a turtle off of a turtle off of a turtle, before having to get into some of your other zombies, especially if you're on the back foot and need to defend yourself. Having more zombie names also makes your extenders more live, which I like a lot. And yeah, I think 3 is really good. So for those of you who have never played this deck, these cards are all limited. So the fact that you don't have that many zombies in your deck means that you only need 1 Zombie Master, especially because it has to discard. So you're not able to make like super big plays without other extenders in your hand already. So I promise you only need the 1. And Goblin Zombie is obviously semi-limited because it's really good. Just zombie Sengen. Searches anything but the turtles. Moving on to some auxiliary monsters, we have the 1 Sangan, the 1 Card Trooper, and 3 Deep Sea Diva. So the reason I'm playing 3 Diva is because not only is Diva just a really good card that you want to draw, Card Trooper can sometimes mill a Diva, and then when I was playing 2, I would go Card Trooper, mill a Diva, and the Diva would be dead, which I didn't like. Obviously, you don't want to draw multiples of this, but it's still just an incredible card for synchro plays, and yeah, it's just broken. And you have an honorary 4th Diva in Sengen. I'm not playing any alternate targets for this. It's just Diva, so I could play something like a Spined Gilman, but that's really, really bricky, and I don't want that. And yeah, Card Trooper is really good because it can contest Black Wings, some Glad Beasts, and it beats over stuff like Hamster. It trades with Ryko. Yeah, it's a really good piece of value generation. And tempo. Onto some other monsters. I have 3 Caius. This pairs really nicely with Pyramid Turtle because the opponent can crash into the turtle, get a Goblin Zombie, and then just Caius. I've seen some lists play 2. I think you want 3, especially because I'm playing Instant Fusion. And yeah, Caius is just a staple for a reason. We play the 1 Gores, the 1 Trag, the 1 Dad. These are all limited, but they're really good. One of my favorite plays with this deck is to crash a Pyramid Turtle into something. You go Chainlink 1 Pyramid Turtle, Chainlink 2 Trag, and then you can summon the Trag, beat over something, and then combo off in main phase 2. That's just an incredible feeling. A lot of my best games have used that combo, and it's just really amazing. I don't think there's any other deck that really makes use of Trag as well as this one. Dad is obviously incredible. The dark count in this deck is 12 darks, including himself. So we have 11 different darks. So the zombies can fuel your graveyard really well. And you have enough graveyard manipulation to where if you have like 4 or 5 darks, sometimes you're able to get the darks out of your graveyard with something like a Zombie Master, and then able to make Dad live. And Gores is just really good. Moving on to some extenders, we are playing 3 Instant Fusion, 3 Book of Life. These are the main extenders of the deck. Book of Life is incredible. I really like 3. I know some people play 2, but it's just really good. It's not always live super early in the game, but in matchups where it's good, it's just incredible. You can banish things like Vayu, opponent's Plague Spreaders sometimes, Treeborn Frog, Lightsworn names, hero names. It's just incredibly versatile, and I like having 3. Playing more of these also helps you push through stuff. You can fight through back row and just have more gas, which I like. Instant Fusion is also a really good extender. I'm playing 2 targets for this in the extra, so I feel comfortable playing 3 of this. I was playing 3 targets for a little bit, but I just couldn't find the room. One of the targets is a zombie, which is really nice for certain plays. Like you can instant fusion, normal Caius, bring back the this Reaper on the Nightmare and like attack with it. It's really, really good. Sometimes you'll side this out going first. Like you'll side out one of these. Sometimes in matchups where it's not super live, you can side out a Book of Life and replace it with something else, which I'll talk about more later. For some power spells, I'm playing the 1 of Foolish Burial, the 1 Mind Control, 1 Brain Control, 1 Allure, 1 MST, 1 Heavy Storm. So this is the only back removal I'm playing in the main. I could play more, but I just don't have space. Allure is great because we have 12 Darks, as I said earlier. Brain Control is obviously broken. Mind Control is really good because we have 4 different tuners that you can pair with this. The 3 Diva and the 1 Plague Spreader Zombie. Foolish Burial is a niche extender that I really like. You can dump a Mizuki, you can dump Plague Spreader Zombie, or any random name for Dark Arm Dragon. Sometimes you can dump Spirit Reaper and wall up with it. There's a lot of niche use cases, but it really does help you combo. Sometimes you'll side this out against decks that have a lot of graveyard hate, like Glads and stuff. For some other extenders, I'm playing the 1 Call of the Haunted and the 1 Return from the Different Dimension. So Call of the Haunted is really good in this deck. Not only can you set it when you have multiple back row to like bait a Heavy Storm and then chain it to the Heavy Storm to get a search off of Sangan or Goblin Zombie, but you can also use Brionic to loop Call of the Haunted, so you can bring back a main deck monster, use it as synchro material for Brio, and then Brio bounce the Call of the Haunted, and then you can set it again to use it. It's really nice. Return is a really nice late game extender. A lot of your zombies end up banished, either because your opponent's banishing them or because they're banished by their own effects. This resets Mizuki and Plague Spreader Zombie. It's really, really good. On to some defensive back row. I have 2 Bottomless, semi-limited, and then the Power 1-ofs, Torrential, Mirror Force, Solemn Judgment, and Trap Dust Shoot. I hate the fact that Trap Dust Shoot is in the format, but because it is, we gotta play it. Sometimes you'll side this out going second when you need better cards. I'll talk about that more when I get to the side. So you can side this out going second, but not in every matchups. Like against Frogs and Lightsworn, you keep this in, even going second. Against Glads, you take it out even going first, because it's really bad against Glads. And yeah, pretty self-explanatory back row lineup. I like these ratios a lot. I wish I had space for Dust Tornado, but I couldn't quite find it. And the Dimensional Prisons are in the side. Moving on to the extra deck, we have the level 5s, so Catastor and Magical Android. Magical Android doesn't come up that much, but sometimes she's useful. For the 6s, I am playing the 1 Urquizzos, 1 Brio, 1 Goyo, and the 2 Zombie Boys. So obviously, Goyo and Brio are standard. Every synchro deck in the format plays these just because they're broken cards. The 2 zombie synchros are really, really good in this deck. Because we're playing Plague, we can make them. Hades is really nice. It beats flip monsters. It crushes stuff like Sangan and recruiters as well. It beats Treeborn Frog, which is really good. Hades is just a house. You can summon it and then revive it back with Book of Life and such. It's just incredible. I was not actually playing the Doomkaiser for a while. I cut it, and then as I started seeing more zombie players, I put it back in the deck for the mirror. This also comes up against Diva Hero sometimes and Lightsworn. Those decks like to play Plague Spreader Zombie. So if they don't know you're playing zombies or they just kind of forget about it, you can revive it. Revive the Plague from your opponent's graveyard with Doomkaiser Dragon, and then synchro it off for a level 8 synchro. It's really, really nice. You can also do that with Zombie Master. So if your opponent has Plague, you can just normal Zombie Master, use Zombie Master effect to take your opponent's Plague, make Doomkaiser take the Plague again, and then ladder up into a level 8. It's really, really good. So obviously, we have the Brio and the Goyo, but because we play so many level 8s in this deck, we want another level 6. So my level 6 of choice is Uraquizas. Not only is the piercing battle damage good, but it's a pyro, which actually matters a lot. So the alternative to this is Gaia Charger, which is fine, but the problem is that it's a warrior. So I'll talk about this more when we get to Colossal Fighter. But yeah. You use these two for your main combo. You have a Goblin Zombie on the field. You go Diva into Diva, Synchro into Brio, Brio pitch Mizuki, or Goblin Zombie search Mizuki, Brio pitch Mizuki, Mizuki bring back the Goblin Zombie, then you can Synchro for Goyo Guardian. Yeah. For the 1 level 7, I'm playing Black Rose. This is the only level 7 I need. I was playing Psychic Life Transfer for a little bit, but it just never came up, so I cut it. Yeah, Black Rose is just broken. For the 8s, we're playing Colossal Fighter, the 1 Stardust, Thought Ruler, Dark End Dragon. Stardust is really good. These two are just really good defensive cards. I like them a lot. Some people play 2 Stardust. Some people play Red Dragon Archfiend as another 8. You can play those, but I don't think they come up as much as the other stuff we're playing in the extra. So Colossal Fighter is really important because it has 2800 attack and it boosts its own attack. You actually don't want the attack of this card to get boosted because when it dies by battle, you can summon a warrior from either graveyard. So if you'll notice, Goyo Guardian also has 2800 attack. So you can crush Colossal Fighter into your opponent's Goyo Guardian and then take their Goyo Guardian. This interaction comes up a lot. This also beats into Red MD and Titanium, which is really important. You can beat into those and then bring the Colossal Fighter back, which is really, really good. You can just clear a whole field of Red MDs with this, which I like. And oftentimes you need a level 6 to ladder up into these. So instead of having to waste your Brio, you can make Uraquizas to ladder up into this, which is really, really good. Dark End Dragon, this used to be a prize card, but now it's not, thankfully. This is great removal. You can make this, you usually end up making this with Caius. There's actually no Dark level 6 that's generic in the format. So you can't ladder up into this super easily, but you can just make it with Caius. Or you can make it with Hades. It's not generic, so you can't go normal Diva and then just go straight up into Dark End, but you can use Hades to make this, which is nice. I am playing the 1 Mistworm as my only level 9. It's the only level 9 in the format. It's good removal. You can make this with a level 4 Spirit Reaper, and Plague Splitter Zombie. It comes up sometimes. I think it's pretty good. And now for the instant fusion targets. I'm playing the 1 Reaper on the Nightmare and the 1 Carbonala Warrior. So I don't want to play Carbonala Warrior, but it's basically my only choice. So the other option is Darkfire Dragon, which is cool. It's a dark, which is a double-edged sword. So the problem with Darkfire Dragon is that because it's a dark, you can't summon it under Kawaki Miru Drago, which is a big problem for this deck. So I think you have to play Carbonala Warrior. It's a warrior, so it gets in the way of your ladders sometimes. Like the Goyo Guardian play, the Colossal Fighter play I mentioned earlier, which is unfortunate, but I think we have to play it. Reaper on the Nightmare is the real reason you want to play Instant Fusion. Not only does it make summoning Black Rose easier, but it's just a really good card. If you synchro it off or tribute it and then bring it back with Book of Life, it's just a direct attacker that snipes cards out of your opponent's hand. So you can just kind of play a control game with this, which I really like. And yeah. So that's the extra deck. Let's move on to the side deck. For the side deck, I'm playing some more back row. We got Dimensional Prison, Dust Tornado, Pulling the Rug, and Compulse. So Compulse is for synchro decks. It's good in the mirror. It beats Absolute Zero. And yeah, it's just a good out to big boss monsters in general. It's not great in just for general use because if you bounce a main deck monster with this, it just goes back to the hand. So it's not actually a loss in card advantage for your opponent. Like you never want to bounce a Monarch for this with this, for example. Speaking of Monarchs, we have Pulling the Rug to beat those. Yeah, Pulling the Rug is really good against Frog Monarch and Diva Hero and all those weird Junk Synchron decks. Yeah. Dust Tornado is just more backer removal for backer heavy decks. Dimensional Prison is really good against recruiters and like big bosses like Tristia and stuff. Yeah, it's a bit flexible. You'll put in Dimensional Prison alongside Bottomless Trapple against Blackwings, but a lot of the times you'll just swap these out for each other. Like you'll swap out the Bottomlesses for these against like Fairies and the Mirror and that kind of stuff. Speaking of Fairies, playing 2 Light Imprisoning Mirror. This is for Fairy and Lightsworn. You can protect this with Stardust Dragon and just hose your opponent. For the Blackwing matchup, unfortunately, you have to play Sirocco. I don't like this card that much, but this is really the only good card against Blackwings. It's just a big guy that always beats over their guys. It's better going second. You can take out Sangan for this. I like to side in 1 going first and 2 going second. And yeah, it's really good against Blackwings. Don't side this in against Vayu. That's already a good matchup anyway, and you don't want like this weird, just big normal summon that's just not that good against Vayu. I promise you don't need it. But Blackwings are just everywhere. So here I have some sauce. I'm playing the 1 Trap Eater. So Trap Eater is really good against Royal Oppression. So it beats Vayu. Royal Decree is surprisingly annoying for this deck. Same with Imperial Iron Wall. Those 2 cards are getting more and more popular, and I really like Trap Eater as a very aggressive out to those cards. Obviously, it's not amazing, which is why I'm only playing the 1, but it comes up more often than you'd think. Kaiku is decent. It beats DD Crow. It's good in the mirror. Kaiku's just like an awkward one-of. I don't quite know what to do with this. Maybe I'll replace it with something else. But it's been fine for now. And I'm playing the Burial from a Different Dimension. So when I side out Book of Life against decks that have a lot of graveyard removal, I usually side this in place of one of those. So that way it helps if you get your stuff banished. You can reset your Plague Spreaders, your Mizukis. It's just a nice extender. I don't think this is main deck worthy because, again, it only works on Mizuki and Plague Spreader Zombie. It's just better to beat Graveyard Hate than it is as an actual extender. So yeah, that's the deck. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, I'd really appreciate a like and subscribe to the channel for more content. Thanks for watching and have a great day.